Hello everyone, and welcome to the CALDO webinar for today. We are doing this webinar specifically for Colombia. If you are already able to join in, I will just give a brief overview of what will happen during the next hour or so, and basically what we will talk about in the first 30 minutes will be the CALDO universities. So CALDO is a group of universities that that decided to come together with a particular focus in Latin America, and we will talk a bit about each of our member universities. Also, something that will take place during the second half of the presentation is the ability for you to ask questions. So we have a chat box for where you can type questions. You can use the chat box after the presentation to write down some questions that you may have. You can write the questions in English or in Spanish. You can use the language that you feel more comfortable with, and I will be able to reply to the questions after the presentation. Please note that during the presentation, I'm not able to reply to questions, so I will ask you to please wait until we start the question and answer section of our webinar. So right now, let's move on with the presentation. I would like to start the presentation with giving you a brief overview of what is CALDO. So CALDO came together in 2011 with four initial universities: the University of Alberta, Laval, Dalhousie, and Ottawa. Therefore, the name CALDO. So the C stands for consortium, and then it's the name of the universities: Alberta, Laval, Dalhousie, and Ottawa. These universities decided that they should come together and they should create a specific office for providing candidates from Latin America support in applying to graduate programs. So when we are talking about graduate programs, we are talking about master and PhD programs. Our universities, as we will see, they are both English and French-speaking universities, and therefore they offer programs in both languages. When you think about Canada, some of the things that I mentioned in this slide, you might be familiar with. So the fact that Canada is a country that it's bilingual, so there are two official languages here, English and French, and students can study in universities English that are English-speaking universities or French-speaking universities. Also, one of our universities is the largest bilingual university in North America, the University of Ottawa, where you can study in the same program courses in English and in French. Canada, as probably most of you are aware, is one of the most multicultural countries in the world. In our university campus, you will find colleagues from all over the world. You will find colleagues from Asia, from Latin America, from Europe, from Africa. And this multiculturalism of our universities is something that students really enjoy because they get to know people from different parts of the world. One other thing that is associated with Canada is the fact that the country invests highly in education. So, for example, for research, all of the master and PhD students that require the use of laboratories, they have dedicated use to specific materials, to specific equipments that in some cases they don't even need to share with anyone else. So during their PhD or during their master programs, they have access to all of the equipments that they require, and there is usually enough materials and enough time that they can dedicate to the research in a way that probably in their home country they wouldn't have access to that, to those equipments and those materials. One other thing that it's very relevant and it's something that candidates value a lot is the fact that once they get a diploma from one of our universities, that diploma is recognized anywhere in the world. So they will not have any issue with validating their academic credentials wherever they are. Right now, the CALDO universities are 9. So the universities that you see here, the University of Alberta, Calgary, Dalhousie, Laval, Ottawa, Queens, Saskatchewan, Waterloo, and Western are the current members of CALDO. And just for general information, CALDO is not a private entity, so our office is part of the universities. Therefore, we don't have any we are not a typical agent office. We are part of our universities, and we focus our service in making sure that candidates, in this case from Colombia, have the necessary support to make an informed decision when they want to apply to a master or to a PhD program. Currently, we work with 8 countries in Latin America: Brazil, Chile, Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, Peru, Paraguay, and Uruguay. And in each country that we work with, we have established agreements with sponsor agencies. So in Colombia, we have an agreement with Colciencias. We also work with Colfuturo, and we also work with ICETEX. So all of these 3 agencies provide, in their own way, financing for candidates to study abroad in a master or PhD programs, being that Colciencias is dedicated exclusively to PhD programs, while ICETEX and Colfuturo are mostly focused on master programs, although there might be from time to time also opportunities for PhD studies to be financed from those agencies. In a very summarized way, and we will talk about this further on in the presentation, the CALDOs that we offer to candidates, first of all, it's free. No one needs to pay anything to use our services. They can just send us an email, and we will gladly provide you the information that you are looking for. Our service is provided in 2 main ways. So one of the ways that we provide advice is on what are the options for graduate studies. So imagine that you want to do a master in uh, political science, and you have obviously no idea of what the universities offer. So you send us an email and you say that you're from Colombia, interested in doing a master in political science, and you would like to know which were the universities that offer the program. That's where we will step in, and we will tell you these universities offer this specific program, and we'll go from there. Then we will look into admission requirements, we will look into research areas, and in the end, you should have enough information to make an informed decision. Another way that we assist candidates, mainly at the PhD level, is in getting in touch with supervisors. When candidates are trying to get admission to PhD programs, it's essential that they find a supervisor. A supervisor, it's basically a professor that it's willing to work with the students for 4 or 5 years, guiding him and assisting him in the research project that he is meant to do. Sometimes contacting professors might be a bit more challenging because since you have not, I'm assuming that most of you have not studied in Canada, you are not familiar with the steps on how to contact a professor. So we once again assist you in that, and we have a dedicated platform where candidates can create a profile, include some documents, and we can share that information with universities, and it will reach also the supervisors. So it's also a way to connect you with professors in a way that it's more efficient. Looking at the Canadian academic system, you will probably find that it's somewhat similar to what you find in Colombia. So after you do your licenciatura, you are able to go to a master program. The master program here can last between 1 and 2 years. There are 2 types of master programs in Canada. Research-based, which imply that in the second year you do a thesis, or course-based, which implies that most of the time is spent going to classes. You might have a small project after you have completed your classes, but it's not a research project. The course-based master, usually it's more for professionals such as, for example, engineers or people from the health sciences that basically want to gain some knowledge about the area without doing research. However, if you're interested in keeping the door open to eventually do a PhD afterwards, your best bet is to go with the thesis-based method, because that's where you will get the most experience for doing research, and you are prepared then to move on to a PhD program. If you already have a thesis-based master, you can apply to a PhD program. A PhD program lasts between 4 and 5 years. Like I said, you will require a supervisor. In some cases, if the student is really very good and in terms of academic performance, it's possible that if a student does not have a master degree, he will start with a master degree, and after the first year, he might start his PhD. So we will do 1 year of master degree instead of doing the 2 years. That's what it's called, the fast track that you see in the slides. After this brief introduction, then, why would you choose a CALDO university? Some of the aspects that you have here are already mentioned. So the fact that all of them are top Canadian universities, which means that they have very good academic standards in terms of teaching and research. The fact that they have state-of-the-art laboratories. The fact that there are hundreds of programs that you can choose from. So all of our universities are comprehensive, which means that you will find programs for all areas of knowledge. Social sciences, health sciences, engineering, social sciences, humanities. Between the 9 universities, it's very hard that you don't find a program that you are interested in or a research area. In addition to that, the universities also offer a comprehensive range of services. So there are counseling services, there are academic writing services, there are sports facilities that students can use, there are events that are organized throughout the universities with different communities, and people get a chance to know a lot of people through these events. So there's a whole series of services that are available to candidates that are very important, especially when you're coming from another country and you lack some of the support in the city in Canada that you're coming to. Another thing is that the universities also have language schools. So when a candidate needs to improve his English, or eventually if he's only interested in improving his English, for example, coming to Canada to improve his English or French, our universities also offer intensive programs during the summer or support programs during the academic semesters for students that need to improve their love language. Let's now look at the universities and the profiles of each of them. So let's start with the University of Alberta. The University of Alberta is located in the city of Edmonton. The city of Edmonton is the capital of the province of Alberta. So Canada is divided into 10 provinces. Each province has a capital. And the province of Alberta is known for its energy resources. So it's the province where the oil and gas production takes place in Canada. And because of that, the University of Alberta has a huge expertise in the energy field. They have one of the few programs in Canada in petroleum engineering. They also have other programs in sustainable environment and renewable resources that are very specific to this university. The University of Alberta is the CALDO university that ranks higher in most of the academic, in most of the university world rankings, being consistently among the 100 best universities in the world. This university has a lot of areas of research, as being natural sciences, engineering, health sciences, agriculture, social sciences, and humanities. So it's really all across the board an excellent university in most of the areas that you can think of. And if we want to look specifically at particular areas of excellency, we could eventually pinpoint the areas such as pharmacy or education or medical studies as being probably the ones where the university is in some cases among the best 50 in the world. In the same province, we also find the University of Calgary. The University of Calgary is also an excellent university with state-of-the-art facilities, and it's one of the youngest universities in North America. It's, despite being young and the university has less than 50 years, It's considered to be one of the best universities in the world, and it's actually among the 50 best universities in the world with less than 50 years. This university, once again, because it's located in the province of Alberta, has a strong focus on energy research. Besides that, they also rank very high on impact of papers and research in the areas of natural sciences, engineering, health sciences, veterinary, social sciences, and humanities. The University of Calgary is one of the two universities in the CALDO group that offer, for example, the PhD in veterinary. Beside that, they have state-of-the-art research in the area of medical field, mainly neurosurgery, joint repair, stem cell production. Beside that, they have excellent facilities and research in most of the fields of engineering. Going to Halifax, we find the University of Dalhousie. The University of Dalhousie sits just beside the Atlantic Ocean, and because of that, the university has developed a huge expertise in the areas of aquatic studies or ocean studies. The university has a lot of um, it is world renowned in the studies of the sustainability of the oceans. They also have specific programs such as aquaculture and programs related also to agriculture. The university ranks high in the areas of health sciences and social sciences, and they also have a very good reputation in the areas of computer science. Moving on to the French-speaking province of Canada, we find Université Laval. Université Laval is located in the wonderful city of Quebec City. This is probably one of the most touristic attractions of Quebec. This city has a wonderful architecture mixing both European and North American architectural buildings, and it's definitely one of the universities that for French-speaking candidates it's one of the best choices in North America. The university was founded in 1663 and it's the oldest francophone university in North America. The university is rated very highly in the areas of agriculture and forestry, as well as health sciences and mining. They have state-of-the-art research facilities in the areas of optic photonics, geomatics, and also in the areas of climate change. Université Laval is also very strong in the fields of medical studies. Moving on to the capital of Canada, Ottawa. So Ottawa is a city that is home to the federal government in Canada, and because of that, it has developed a huge expertise in some specific areas such as political studies and public administration, and also in law. So the university is the largest bilingual university in North America, which means that you can study in both English and French, and it's the university that offers the most program in both languages. The university is top ranked in fields such as natural sciences, engineering, health sciences, social sciences, and humanities, and it's home to the Max Planck Center for Extreme and Quantum Photonics, which is only 3 universities in North America have this center, and Ottawa is one of them. Going to Kingston. Kingston, you find the university, Queen's University. Queen's University is a university that has a huge reputation in the business and educational field. Some of the top MBAs and management programs in Canada are found in Queen's University. And beside that, the university was also in the news in 2015 because one of their professors won the Nobel Prize for Physics. Beside that, the university also has a huge reputation in the areas of health sciences, social sciences, and humanities. They house some of the best research laboratories in Canada in the areas of fuel cell research, high-performance computing, and the Center for Health Services and Policy Research. Going to the center of Canada, so right in the center of Canada, you find the province of Saskatchewan. The University of Saskatchewan is located in the city of Saskatchewan, and this is one of the top universities in the world in the areas of agricultural and veterinary. They have developed more than 400 commercial crop varieties, and they are home to the largest to one of the largest veterinary programs in Canada. They offer the option of studying both small and large animals, and they have a very comprehensive veterinary department. Besides that, the university also has some research expertise in the fields of water security and freshwater resources. Going to the city of Waterloo in Canada, we find the university with the same name, the University of Waterloo. The University of Waterloo has put the city in the map because this city is considered to be the Silicon Valley of the North. And it's because the university has developed such expertise in the fields of computer science that a lot of high-profile companies such as Google, Facebook have installed offices in the city because they want to attract students from the university to their offices. This university is home to the largest computer science department in Canada. And beside that, it also has a huge reputation in the fields of natural sciences, engineering, and social sciences. The university is also home to the Water Institute, one of the top 10 water research facilities in the world that allows people to exploit and develop research in the fields of secure water and maintenance of water sources around the world in different conditions. Going to the city of London, London, Ontario, you will find the University of Western. Western is a university that has a magnificent campus. When you're in the campus of Western, it looks like you have gone to Europe, and you're sort of going. You're walking around sets of scenarios like Harry Potter, because the buildings are really very interesting in the sense that they are very rich in in their architecture. The University of Western is one of the top universities in Canada in the fields of geography, medicine, chemical engineering research. Beside that, their main focus of research impact are in the fields of engineering, health sciences, social sciences, and humanities, and they are top ranked in areas such as psychology and business. The business school of Western, called the Ivy School, is one of the top universities, one of the top business schools in the world in the areas of management. So it's no surprise that their MBAs and their management programs have a lot of reputation around the world. Besides that, the university is also home to one of the few wind tunnels that will allow students from civil engineering to conduct very high profile research in this area. And they also have a large Latin American community of PhD research students in several departments in the engineering building. Some other indicators that are relevant for you to know about our universities. In 2016, the company QS released a ranking of employability, which were the 300 best universities in the world in terms of employability. And we were very happy to see that 5 of the CALDO universities made it the ranking, mainly Waterloo, Calgary, Alberta, Queens, and Western, which is something that it's important for graduate students to consider, obviously, when they are looking for places to study. One other interesting research that was done this time by the Times Higher Education was which were the most international universities in the world. And this was a ranking of 150 universities. And CALDO was able to have 2 of its members placed within the top 40 universities. Alberta in the 31st position and Waterloo in the 34th, which gives you an idea of what I was saying at the beginning, the multicultural aspect of the university is the fact that you will find people from all over the world at our university campus. So going back to CALDO and talking a bit about our services, how does CALDO benefit students? So like I said at the beginning, we are a single point of contact to have access to 9 different universities. Via our office, you have preliminary access to information on programs, on admission requirements, and also on contacts for universities. So you don't need to navigate the individual site of each university. You just send an email to CALDO and we will do all that work for you. We will also assist you in finding the research areas and supervisor information that you might need in order to decide which university you are mostly interested. If you're applying to a PhD or for a program for which it's required the supervisor at the admission stage, at the application stage, we will assist you with our dedicated platform. So basically, by creating a profile in the CALDO platform, we are able to share with our universities your information, and by doing that, provide you direct contact with potential supervisors. Once you're in Canada, we also assist the students with day-to-day issues. So for example, if you're not able to contact your sponsoring agency because there was not a payment made, we assist you with that. Or if you are having any sort of issue with not being able to contact someone at the university, we will also assist you with that. And another important thing is our website. Our website is very new, so our website was completed, or the new version of the website was completed in March 2017, and the site was designed to give applicants an idea of our universities, our cities, what it is to come to Canada, how you should prepare to come to Canada, and the application stage. So by browsing our website, you will be able to get an overall sense of what our universities are about and how you can apply to our university. What are the different steps that you need to go through to apply to the university. In addition to that, you also have the tools to apply. That it's a section of the website that gives you access to valuable information on how to write a CV based on Canadian standards, how to contact a supervisor, how to write a statement of research, what are the best options for you, a course-based master or a thesis-based master. So a lot of very valuable resources are available in our website. And the website was designed in a way that with a very few clicks, you have access to the information that you need. So our goal was that with 2 or 3 clicks, you have access to the information that you need. And for most cases, we have achieved just that because it's very easy to navigate the website and the information is readily available. Anyway, if you're interested in getting to know more about our programs and our universities, I will advise everyone to get in touch with me to the email that you see in this slide. So graduate.coordinator@caldo.ca. You can send an email to this address. You just need to let me know what is the program that you're looking for. If you're considering to bring financing from your own country, like I said, from Consciencias, Futuro, or ICTex, and we'll go from there and we'll try to explore the different possibilities that are available at our universities. One important thing that everyone needs to provide is just a bit of a background of what are your studies up to the present. So what have you studied so far and what you want to study from now on? Because in some cases, people might want to do a slight change of what they studied previously. But one important aspect is that for our universities, there are 2 important things to keep in mind. First, applying directly from a licenciatura to a doctorado, it's not possible. And when students are applying to a master's degree, it's important that they are applying to an area that was related to their licenciatura. So for example, if you have studied education, you cannot apply to something related to engineering. So there needs to be some coherence and obviously a follow-up of what you did in your licenciatura. So we are reaching the half an hour of our webinar, and like I said at the beginning, right now is the time for questions. So I will open the discussion to anyone that is interested in doing any questions at this point. So you have the chat box available to you. Like I said, you can type your questions in Spanish or in English as you wish, and I will try to reply as best as I can. And if I'm not able to give you an answer right away, I will advise you to write me an email, because in some cases it might not be very easy for me to, for example, advise you on programs during a webinar, because like I said, among our universities we have hundreds of programs. So feel free to start placing some questions. So Danny is asking, any of these universities has program with health and design? So Danny, our universities, they have programs in both health and design. However, your question is in the same program, health and design, or it's two different programs? If it's two different programs, definitely our universities have different options depending also on what you mean by health. It can be nursing, it can be pharmacy or pharmaceutical studies. So it's important to get a bit more information on that. In terms of the design, yes, there are design programs at our universities. I clearly remember that Alberta, Calgary, they have design programs. Um, I know that there are other universities that have design programs, but I would need to double check that. Um, so if you want to get more detail on the programs, you can you can send me a bit more information on an email. Ana María Muñoz, hola, ¿qué tan fácil es conseguir financiación en las universidades para hacer el máster? So, Ana Maria, our universities, they offer financing also for master students. However, as you can imagine, the competition is really big. So one of the things that we recommend is that if you are interested and willing to seek financing in your own country, that is a huge plus for the professors and for the universities. And in some cases, it may facilitate admission. However, if that's not an option for you, some programs offer very generous scholarships. However, all of them are based on academic assessment of the candidate. So when they are admitted, the department will let them know that they are entitled to receive a specific amount of money. But obviously that depends. So we would need to see which programs are you interested in, which universities, and all of afterwards we would look into the options. So Danny, I noticed that you have replied to my question. You're looking at design on medical devices. Danny, I would advise you to send me an email, because I'm pretty sure that there are programs that might relate to that. If you have, for example, any program that you already know from other universities, you can send me a link so that I have an idea of what exactly you're looking for, and we'll go from there. Susie is asking, all these universities are programs in English or French? No. So in only in Ottawa you find programs in English and French, okay? And in Laval you find programs in French. The other universities all offer programs mostly in English. So most of our universities, so seven of the 9 offer only English. One offers bilingual, and Laval offers French mostly. Javier is asking, I want to start a master, but I want to go with my family. Is it difficult? So Javier, when candidates bring their family, the main difference is the immigration. So you will need to first of all show to the immigration that you have enough funds to bring your family. Usually, if you bring a scholarship, that's easy to prove. Or if you have savings, you can also show them that you have enough funds to bring your family with you, and it's usually not a big problem to receive a study permit for you. and a work permit for your partner so that she can work while you're studying. Outside of that, the other main thing that you will need to know is the housing aspect. So in our website, there are 3 sites that will give you idea of costs per living in terms of renting houses and in different cities in Canada. I would say that when you're bringing your family, you should be looking at around $2,000 to $2,300 a month, Canadian dollars, between housing, accommodation, accommodation, transportation, and food. So that's probably an amount that you should keep in mind when you're bringing your family. Sorry, Javier, just to conclude, in terms of the acceptance to the admission to the program, it doesn't make any difference if you're bringing your family or not. So that there's no problem there. Carolina is asking, I want to know if one must have acceptance to the university prior to applying to the scholarship. So Carolina, it depends. So for example, in Consciências, yes, you will need to get acceptance to the university. But for example, in Colfuturo, it works the other way around. So first of all, they do a pre-screening on the candidates, and after they tell the candidate that they've been pre-selected, and then they need to find admission to the universities or to the university that he was pre-selected to go to. With ICETEX, usually you need to have admission before applying to the scholarship or to the loan. It's not a typical scholarship. Milena is asking, is there any age limit to initiate a master program in any of the universities? No, Milena, the universities usually they don't set an age limit to start a master program. What they might look is that if the candidate is stopped studying several years ago, and for example does not have a very strong English level, admission might be a bit more difficult. However, there is no official age limit that the university set for master students or candidates in this case. Mauricio is asking if there's any possibility to get a scholarship from the universities. Definitely, Mauricio. Our universities, when candidates are applying within the deadlines, they in some cases the candidate is also automatically applying to financial assistance from the universities. So in some cases, if you're not able to bring a scholarship, you might have one from the universities here if you're an academic strong candidate. Luis Antonio is asking, I'm interested in Laval, but I haven't proficiency in French language. So Luis, Laval is usually a university that is usually, no, it's a university that it's mostly French. Some professors, for example, for PhD programs, might accept to do the research project of the candidates in English. However, you will probably need to have some classes in French. So if you feel that you're not strong or at least do not have the minimum level of French to be able to write and to understand perfectly what people are saying and to maintain a conversation, my advice would be for you to try to improve the French or choose the English option. Melissa is asking, I'm a lawyer and I would like to study a master in international law. Which university would you recommend? I prefer program in French. I'm a B2. So, Melissa, if your preference is in French, it's easy. You only have 2 options. It's either Laval or Ottawa. Ottawa is a very strong university in law. I know that they have a very good reputation in law. However, you will find that probably Laval, if you find a program that is related to international law, I'm pretty sure that they are also an interesting university. So in the end, it's almost a question of which program would you prefer and which city would you prefer to live in, if living in Ottawa or living in Quebec City. However, I will recommend if you send me an email, I can send you the link of both programs so that you can see the characteristics of each of them. Danny is asking how works the internship in different universities. I'm interested in doing a master degree. So Danny, in master programs, usually you don't have an internship. What you have is a research period. So in the research period, you might work in laboratories, or you might do a thesis, you might do a study. Depending on the type of facilities that the university have, you are able to do different things. However, it's not called an internship, so you will not go to a company or some external partner from the university in most cases. Susie is asking, what is the level for the University of Laval? There are exams that are required. So basically, Susie, what you're asking is, what are the admission criteria? So the admission criteria rely on two major aspects. GPA, so the average that you have in your licenciatura, and also on language level requirements. So in both of them, you will need to meet the minimum set by the program. Okay, and this basically means that if the program requires a GPA of, let's imagine, 3.4 and you have 3.3, probably you will not be able to get in because it depends on the competition. So if all the other candidates have the minimum or higher, if you have lower than that, there is no chance that you will get admission. And the same goes with the language requirements. So those are the two major things for most programs. Afterwards, other programs might require other admission tests. For example, business programs require the GRE or the GMAT. Programs in design might require a portfolio, or programs in arts like drama or music will definitely require some sort of skills that need to be shown by the candidate. Estefania is asking, quiero saber cuánto dinero se debe tener para hacer un Master Degree. Estoy interesado en Master in Science and Computer en la Universidad de Waterloo. Tal que la convocatoria es para el periodo de septiembre, ¿con cuánto tiempo me debo presentar? So, Stefania, for master programs, I would need to double check. When you are an international student, your tuition fees, so your taxas académicas, they are different from the Canadian ones. In some programs, because the university has so many applicants, they don't even accept candidates that are willing to pay for the program, in the sense that they use their own funding to support students that are very good academically, and they are willing to pay for them to study there. On the other hand, you have programs that are called the professional masters that I was talking at the beginning. So the professional masters in there, it's much easier if you want to pay for the program. So if you send me an email, I can confirm exactly how much are the fees. Also, another thing that I would like to highlight is that computer science at the University of Waterloo is one of the most competitive programs in the university. So candidates are really, really strong, and there's a lot of competition. So you will need to be at the top shape in terms of academic, in terms of language skills, and also this program, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the few programs outside business that will require a GRE for also the candidates. So aside from the GPA and the language tests, candidates also need to do a GRE to gain admission to this program. But the good thing is that computer science is offered by any of our universities. So it might also be interesting for you to look into other options, not just Waterloo, because the more you look for and the more universities you get information from, the best chances you will have to get admission. However, the option of Waterloo for computer science is excellent because that's probably their strongest area. So I don't know if there are any other questions at this point, but if no one else has any other question, I will once again remind you that you can send me an email to graduate.coordinator@caldo so that you can get more data in regards to your program of interest and how to gain admission to a program. Um, we have a new question from Yeson. I would like to know how Caldo could help us to find a supervisor. So when you're looking for a supervisor, the information on supervisors is usually available on the websites. However, it's not sometimes very easy to navigate the websites and get the information that you require right away, or at least in a way that you don't spend the whole afternoon just looking for names of professors. So what we do at Caldo is we know the area that you're interested in and the research topics, we give you we give you we give you access, or we will let you know where you can find the different research areas for our universities, so that within a couple of hours you are able to navigate the website of the different universities and get a very good idea of which are the topics of research that each of them offer, and get an idea of which are the professors that are doing research at each of the universities. So that's one way that we assist you with finding a supervisor. The other way is we have resources in our website and also via email for how to contact supervisors. So what information you need to tell, what information you need to give them, how to approach them, how to write a statement of research. And like I mentioned, for PhD and thesis-based masters, you can also use the Caldo online platform that we have available for candidates that are interested in bringing financing from their home country. So one of the main features of this platform is that it's only available if you're considering to bring some sort of scholarship from Colombia or from the country where you're from. So if you want financing from Canada, that platform is not suitable. So it's not applicable. So those are basically the ways that we can find people to get in touch with and to find information on supervisors. So once again, if there are no more questions, I would like to thank everyone for their time and for your interest in the Caldo universities. We are available via our email, via our website, and also we do webinars like this and others from time to time. I would advise you to connect to our Facebook and to our Instagram and LinkedIn to keep in touch with the latest news. And we will be always willing to provide you the information that you require, or connect you with our universities in case that they have the information that you are requiring. So just to finish, replying to Susie, if the universities have agreement with the universities in Colombia. Yes, our universities have agreements with different universities in Colombia. I'm not entirely sure which universities are, because these are bilateral agreements that don't go through Caldo. However, what I would advise you is that if you're interested, go to your university, the international department, and see if they have any agreements with any of our universities. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today, and please let us know if we can assist you in any other way. Tomorrow, you will all receive an email from us with a video of this presentation and with some other information that might be helpful for you to have. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.